Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back. In this video, we are looking at the MLB slate for Friday. We have 5 games on the main slate, also 5 games on the early slate, which we will be playing, but probably won't have time to make a video on it. Wanted to go through the main slate and then have an NBA video out this afternoon. Opening day was kind of low scoring for most of these games. We didn't see one go really high scoring except for that Cardinals game if you stacked up the birds. But move on to today. We had a good day of NBA with THT, and some of these Lakers guys came through, and Jaylen Brown once Tatum was out. But go ahead and talk about this baseball slate as always. If you enjoy the videos, appreciate the likes, subscribes. You can check out Twitter for updates, the website, Prize Picks. You can use my code PROCESS for deposit match up to $100. And let's get into it. So today, going right back to our handy dandy fantasy labs tool. Looking at the main slate here, couple of teams with the 5+ total. We have the Mets. Scherzer is starting for them, going up against his former team. But they have Josiah Gray on the mound for the Nationals. Looking at this lineup, we see some value right off the bat with Robinson Cano, $2,400 second base option, and that's something to keep an eye on. If you wanted to go with the top end guys, you have Brennan Nimmo if he's batting leadoff. Look at the lefties mainly, but also throw in Alonso, Lindor, Marte. All of their better power hitters are right-handed, so don't mind the Mets stack. I think there's some other ones that I also like. Next game, we have the Rangers against the Blue Jays. Not really looking to stack the Rangers much, although they could be a nice GPP option because Barrios did have some issues with the home runs last year. Gave up 22 home runs in 192 innings, so he does give up some power at times, and this lineup has shifted into getting a lot of power hitters in there. Corey Seager, they got him from the Dodgers. They have a lot of lefties, so I'm not really looking to play Barrios against a lefty-heavy team, but for tournaments, you can do like a nice little Brad Miller, Corey Seager, Nate Lau. Even the bottom has power with Calhoun and Willie Calhoun. So keep an eye on the Rangers. I think they make for a nice GPP stack. The Braves, they are looking like another good stack today. They didn't come through yesterday. They kind of got shut out by Tyler Mahle. But today, going up against a lefty and San Martin, he's super young. We don't have much stats on him in terms of the major league level. We just have about like 57 or 47 batters that he's faced. So far, he's been really bad against righties. 346 average and a 423 slugging given up. So looking at this Braves righty lineup, righty heavy lineup, if you have Arcia batting leadoff, $2,500, that would make a great value option. We'll see if he was in the lineup yesterday. Looks like he's going to be a backup, but they probably would like to have him in lineups against lefties. So do like that value. And then your main power hitters like Oruzina is good against lefties. We have Olsen is good against lefties. If you look at his stats last year, he absolutely matched them in terms of power, and it's probably something that a lot of people won't go to lefty. So that's something I don't mind getting to. Albie's always good against lefties. And then we have the Astros against the Angels here, a game that should be pretty high scoring. The total is almost 10 for this one. You got a lefty, unknown lefty from the Angels, young lefty. So we know these Astros are very good against lefties, especially Alex Bregman. We have Diaz is good against lefties. Altuve hits for a super high average. Even Yulesky Gurriel is good against lefties. So Astro stack is on my list. Angel stack, they are expensive, but Odorizzi, another guy that gives up a ton of power over his career to both sides of the plate. He's also struggled against some righty-righty situations. Last year in just 111 innings, he gave up 18 home runs and gave up a bunch of walks. So this is a spot where Mike Trout, Ohtani, some of these guys can just absolutely go nuclear. And then the final game, we have Merrill Kelly against Sean Manaya with the Padres and the Diamondbacks. Diamondbacks won last night off of a 3-run home run by, I believe, a guy making his MLB debut, or this is like his first full season. Maybe he's played a little bit in years past. Not looking at much from the Diamondback side offensively. You have some value here, but Manaya's a decent pitcher. The only guy I really look at is like Christian Walker and Ketel Marte, just because Marte is so good. And then the Padres, I like some of these other teams to stack, even though they do have a 5-run total. If I was going to go with anybody against Merrill Kelly, it would be like Luke Voit, Hosmer, Grisham, some of the lefties, and I don't mind throwing in Machado, but I wouldn't pay 49 for Cronenworth. So going over to DraftKings pitching wise, we have Max Scherzer. He's starting against his former team. He said he's cleared to go. He's the only superstar, really the main superstar on this one. We have some other good pitchers here with like Morton and Jose Barrios, but the bottom we have like John Gray. He could be a nice tournament option just because he gives you strikeout upside, and he's bad against lefty heavy teams, but he's going up against a super righty heavy Toronto team, and does give you well over strikeout per inning. So it's scary, but he definitely is somebody that you can keep an eye on. But we have a lot of value in these other spots, so if you wanted to go to a cheap pitcher, it would probably be John Gray for me, but I don't mind spending up a little bit for two mid-range options and going with like Charlie Morton as my second guy. At home, Braves still gives you that strikeout upside through for over 200 innings. Last year, this Cincinnati lineup isn't super scary. He does have some lefties in here, but he's not like awful against lefties. And there are some strikeouts in this lineup with the bottom with Tommy Pham, Farmer, Senzel, if he's in the lineup batting ninth, but are some strikeouts in the lineup. And 3.7 total is one of the lowest ones on the slate. He has a lower total than Max Scherzer, just with the wind blowing out a little bit with the Mets, and he's lower total than Barrios as well. So those two pitchers leaves you with still 44.85, so you get plenty to spend on your bat still. The first guy I'll plug in here, well, first we'll go through some of the positions here. Catcher, a position that I like to just fill out my stack with, unless there's just some crazy value pitchers and we're able to pay up for some of these top end guys. But today at catcher, nobody is really that thrilling to pay up for. Garver does give you power, but probably won't go to anybody over 4,000. Just throw in some of these guys that are part of my stacks here, whether it's some of the guys from the Atlanta stack. We have the Houston game. I like to stack them a little bit. Maybe throw in anybody from the Texas game as well. I'll skip catcher, going on to first base, position where you always have so many good pay ups, so it's always kind of enticing to use a spot to use this position to pay up for one of the big bats. Today is not really any different. If you wanted to go to a value, you can go to Brad Miller if he's batting leadoff at $3,100, but I'm going to go ahead and spend a little bit of money and maybe not go all the way up to Ohtani at 63, but going in the like 4K range. I think Luke Voit is somebody that we can look to. Nate Lau, somebody else that we can kind of feel good about at that price tag. But I'm going to go ahead and put in Vlad Guerrero, $5,900. He's expensive. Going up against John Gray. I know I said that he's super good against, he's a good strikeout pitcher, but I just like playing Guerrero with all the power upside that he gives you. He was great against Texas last year. He was awesome in the spring training, and I think he's going to make a case for MVP. So even though I like Matt Olson, lefty, still, I'd rather have him go against a righty, even though he's good against lefties. I'm not going to pay 54 for Votto against Charlie Morton. You could look to Jared Walsh at 52, but for 700 more, I might as well try to get to Vlad Guerrero. Second base, Altuve. This Blue Jays team is going to put up a lot of runs this year, so they're going to be fun to stack all year. Second base, where I'll probably go with the value piece here. I don't mind going up to any of these guys over 5,000. The Rangers are pretty sneaky with like Simeon and Seager and all these good hitters that they brought in, but it's tough to pass up on $2,400 Robinson Cano, which would open up the door to pay up for a pitcher, pay up for another superstar bat. Third base, we have Machado batting, the most expensive guy at 52. Not something I'm going to feel great about. He's fine if you're stacking the Padres, but I'd rather go with Alex Bregman whenever he's facing off against a lefty. So I love Bregman, and I love Aledmys Diaz as well, $3,700. Also very good against lefties. So I'm going to go ahead and put in Diaz. We still have $6,400. I love all the money that we have left to spend up. Shortstop, Bo Bichette looks awesome at 6K. You double stack him with Vlad if you wanted to. You have a lot of cheaper options as well with Corey Seager, Francisco Lindor. And at the bottom end, with Drury had a good game, but not going to go to him against Charlie Morton. Just seems like there's a lot of top end guys here, and then it kind of dies off. So might try to get up to those expensive guys there. And then in the outfield, pay up for another bat because we have $6,400, $6,500 left for these last couple of spots. So you'll be able to pay up for whatever big bat you want. Kind of like Trout and Ohtani both. Played Trout yesterday, didn't come through. Ohtani did have one that went to the warning track, so I will probably like to get to both if I can, because I do think they'll be able to put up some damage against Odorizzi, and we have so much money left over. But that is about it for the video for DraftKings side. Let's go ahead and talk about FanDuel. All right, over on FanDuel, looking at the price tags that we have there, we have still Scherzer at $11,000. Probably will be looking to get to him. We probably have value, which we'll get to at these other spots. But looking at the bats from the first game, Brendan Nimmo, $2,600. Still have Robinson Cano, dirt cheap on both sides, $2,200. So those guys look appealing. Going into the second game, Brad Miller, Nate Lau, the Calhouns at the bottom, $2,200. Even Corey Seager. I think the Rangers make for a nice GPP stack. On the Blue Jays side, same type of deal. You can look to get to these expensive bats. If you have some, you're going to have like Kevin Biggio, $2,100 at the bottom of the order. But Vlad, if you wanted to pay up for him. Next game, you don't have Arcia on the... I don't know, they probably don't have Arcia, maybe. We'll take a look at that. But hopefully they have Diaz. He's only 2K. We'll look to get to both of those guys as values, at least one. But you can maybe go down to Morton if you wanted to save money instead of going all the way up to Scherzer. Maybe they don't throw him out there for a ton of pitches after he was supposed to start opening day, but then I think I don't know, something happened with him and he moved it one day, injury related maybe. Then we have probably the best game to target is the Angels and the Astros one in terms of a game stack perspective. Might have Jeremy Pena at 2K if he's in the lineup. And then the Padres, Diamondbacks, not looking to stack anybody really much. Maybe the Padres look better on FanDuel just based on the price tags, but still love the Astros and the Angels. Look to get to their bats. I love all the A's teams, the Braves, the Astros, the Angels, and even the Blue Jays, just with the wind blowing out a little bit, and the Mets a little bit too. Going over to FanDuel pricing, first we'll take a look at if they have the value with like Diaz and stuff. Yeah, they have Diaz. We can play him at 3 spots. So we have Robinson Cano at second base. Plug in Diaz at third base. Go ahead and put in Cano at second base with his value, $2,200. And then at pitcher, we'll be able to pay up for Scherzer if we wanted to, or go down to, let's see if we play Morton. We have 36, 33, so we'll be able to pay up for some of these big bats here, like Vlad at first base, $4,500 is a big price tag. But when you have these 2K just fillers that look appealing, easy to get to expensive guy. If you wanted to stack the Astros, you have Gurriel at only 26. You have Brad Miller as a value. But I'm going with Vlad on both sides. Just have the money to do so. Second base, like the value with these guys. Cano, you want to pay up for Altuve, that's fine. But we have Cano here as a value option. You have Diaz at 2,000. Kevin Biggio as a value. And then Arcia if he's in the lineup. Third base, Diaz at 2,000. Bregman as a pay-up. We have Rendon as a pay-up here. So those guys look appealing. And then save money and go with Diaz. Shortstop, Bo Bichette. Wanted to pay up for him. I like Bo Bichette. And then I like Lindor. I like Seager as a value at 33. Gives you a ton of power, especially against righties. And that's basically it. Not a position where, unless you play Diaz, you're not looking to go with a value option. We still have over $3,400 left. We'll be to pay up for another superstar here. Odado bomb last night, but give me Ohtani and some of these guys going up against a home run prone pitcher from the Angels. Like Ohtani at his price, I can get to Trout as well. Leaves us with still a lot of money left over. We have still like $3,250. So going in the 3K range, fishing for some 3K bats here. Or even the 2K range, you have Marcell Ozuna at $2,900. You have Joe Adell if you want to stack the Angels bats here. And then you have so many guys all the way in the 2K range that you'd probably be able to pay for another $4,000 bat. So might try to do the Ohtani Mike Trout double stack here. But that's about it for FanDuel. Once again, got some good value that we can look to target to pay up for some big bats here. So that's it for the video. Thank you for watching. Best of luck tonight. Stay tuned for more videos throughout the day, and I will see you all next time.